Hey, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be showing you how to get from 0 to 10K a month in 2025. To begin, my name's Kelly and I'm 24 years old. I usually live between Bali and Dubai, but I'm currently out in Australia, and last year I hit my first 10K month. And I wanted to make this video to show you how to do the same because I know how much this changed my life and how much this could change other people's. And just for a quick bit of context, I didn't grow up with money. I was at university when I realized that I didn't want to go into a full-time job. I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, and I wanted to be able to live like that kind of freedom lifestyle. I wanted to have location freedom, money freedom, time freedom. So I abandoned the idea of going to uni and working a 9 to 5 and go after pursuing what I really wanted, which was to be able to work for myself, have no limit on the amount of money I could make, and be able to work from anywhere in the world. And I spent the first couple of years working different online jobs, trying different business ventures. Nothing really worked until I found this. And within the first few months, I went from 0 to 10K a month, and it completely changed my life. So let's get stuck in. So first things first, you're starting off with 0 and you want to hit your first 10K a month. What you want to do is you want to master a skill, but it can't just be any skill. It needs to be a skill that is of high value and has low barrier to entry. So what I mean by this is it can't be a skill that is going to take you years and years and years to learn, and you need to get maybe a doctorate. For instance, if you wanted to become a doctor, like you need to spend years in medicine school, you need to like get an exam, a degree and stuff like this. Like you want a skill that you can learn from home and one that you can teach yourself ideally. So you obviously don't want to have a skill like cleaning the kitchen because that's not going to pay as well as other high value skills like being a doctor, right? So for me, the skill that I mastered was UGC. So what UGC is it's user generated content. So it's basically this process where brands and different types of products and services, they need content for their pages. So whether it's for advertisements or organic content to be posted on their Instagram, their TikTok, like they need content, they need videos with their products. So they hire people to create these videos. And they don't always hire influencers because influencers charge so much money. It's not sustainable for them. So what they do is they hire people that have these skills of being able to create great videos with products and services and advertise them online. So for my own journey, I actually worked different online jobs before I started this. And some of the different jobs I'd worked in was actually within agencies where they'd be looking for UGC creators. So I already knew what it meant to stand out as a UGC creator. I knew how to make a great portfolio. I knew how to create good content for brands. I knew exactly everything there was about UGC. I just hadn't stepped into the field myself. So for me, it really took me no time to be able to become really good at this. And I think that's why I did find so much success. So I would definitely say you can fast track the process if you have all of that knowledge and you can acquire all of that skill very, very quickly, which can obviously be done by 1, getting a mentor, 2, dedicating loads of hours and time into practicing and getting better, or 3, already having past experience in the industry like I did. So that's basically step 1. You want to find a high value skill like I did with UGC, and you want to master it and become really good at it. But when it comes to step 2, I'm going to build on this idea of mastering it, because there's one thing to find a high value skill and say, okay, UGC is really great. I can make loads of money doing this. But so many people will have the excitement for 1 or 2 days, and then a week will go by and they'll completely forget about it and they'll go back to their normal life and do nothing about it, right? So the biggest thing with step 2 is really building those habits for success. So the first habit that you want to build is 1, to be able to see that you can do well with it. Because if you allow yourself to come up with excuses and come up with reasons why you can't do well, then you'll talk yourself out of it along the journey, and you'll end up wanting to start up another business, try something else, and you won't see it through to fruition. Another habit that you really want to build is you want to stay consistent. So you want to dedicate hours of your day every day to mastering that skill and becoming good at it, because it's not going to happen if you only do it here and there. Maybe 1 month you feel like doing it, another month you don't. One day you're really like consistent, and for another week you don't do anything. Like it needs to be something that you decide to implement into your life on a daily basis, and you need to stick at it for a long enough period of time to see it do well. So you can't give up after 1 week, you can't give up after 1 month. You have to commit to seeing it through for a long period of time, like at least 3 months to be able to hit 10K. And this is another thing that you need to master when it comes to being successful. One is kind of letting go of all the old habits and traits that wouldn't have served you in doing well. So one of them, for instance, for me was being too scared to show up on camera, which obviously isn't going to serve me well as a content creator. So I had to let go of that. Another one was believing that I didn't have as much potential as other people. And obviously that wasn't going to serve me well if I wanted to be able to hit 10K a month. And another thing I used to believe was that money was hard to make, which obviously it was for a lot of my upbringing. So that's why I had this thought process. But if I wanted to be able to be somebody who could make it easily, then I had to think that way. So during this process of mastering the skill and putting in the work, you really want to do a lot of work on your mindset to be able to bring you to that destination. So that brings me to step 3. So the first step was finding a high value skill with low barrier to entry and mastering it, a skill like UGC that I did. And step 2 was mastering the habits that it takes to being successful. For instance, staying consistent, believing in yourself, letting go of limiting beliefs, and giving yourself the chance to actually see the process through. So now step 3 is how you're going to be able to grow the business itself. So by this point, if you'd have done the first 2 steps, then you will already have clients for your UGC business. You will have already made money through UGC. So when you start creating money, you want to pour the money back into the business and start scaling and delegating. So what I mean by this is, for me, the reason why I was able to hit 10K a month with UGC, whereas a lot of other UGC creators aren't able to hit this, they get really stuck. And I've seen people get stuck at like 2, 3, 4, 5K a month, is because they don't hire a virtual assistant. So I have my own virtual assistant and she handles all of the small tasks for me, which obviously I used to do, but I don't really have the time to do anymore. And if I did spend my time doing that, then I would be making less money. So that's the important thing to note here. So you have to be willing to hire somebody to help you out with different parts of creating UGC, which for me, I hired a virtual assistant and she helps out in so many different ways, which means that all I have to do is just focus on creating content for brands. So yeah, it's very important that as soon as you start making money from UGC, you hit 2, 3K a month, that you hire a VA and then you can delegate some tasks to her, or to him, sorry, which then allows you to take on more work and make more money in the business. And I guarantee that this can work for you if you follow this process, because I'm living proof. It works for me. It also works for my clients that I help to be able to start up in UGC. For instance, a girl called Lean, I made a video of her recently, and I helped her to leave her 9-to-5 lifestyle and to be able to, she had no idea how to do UGC, started from 0, and now she's working full-time in UGC. I've just showed her how to hire a VA, and now she's gonna scale up to 10K with her UGC content. And even my mum is making money from UGC. I recently showed her how to make UGC videos, create a portfolio, and she's already started landing brand deals and making extra money from that on top of her 9-to-5. And my mum's literally like 55 years old. So that just goes to show that anyone can do it if they want to. So yeah, don't sleep on this opportunity. This is such a great way to make money in 2025. If you're at 0 and you want to get to 10K a month, then follow the steps in this video and inshallah, you will make it. See you in the next video.